I'm gonna hit record on here. All right, hello everybody. We are live on Facebook. Woo woo! Everyone say hi to Aly from Not This Work. Say hello. Let us know if you're joining us live. If you're watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay. I am so thankful for Aly to be here this evening to share her success story with Create My Weight. And Aly started our 16-week program a little over 4 months ago, and she wrapped up like right before the holiday season. And Aly, we are so excited that you were lost 20 pounds. And one thing Aly and I were actually just talking about before we hopped on this call tonight was how she even maintained her results over the holiday season and her birthday. Aly, how did that feel?
Amazing. Like I was telling you earlier, I just feel good that I was able to maintain my weight amidst all the food and the celebrations and the alcohol and everything. So I'm just happy that I didn't gain weight. That was my goal throughout the holidays, was not to gain any weight. Right, and I did that. So I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Right. And you still enjoyed the foods and all those things, right?
I did. And the thing is, I didn't overindulge. Like I had, the one day of Christmas and maybe the day after, and then also for my birthday, like 5 days later. But I didn't go through like a whole binging for the whole week,
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's what saved me from gaining any weight as well. I just stuck to that one day and I didn't go crazy.
Perfect. I love that. And I love that now you're going into the new year, like knowing exactly what to do, what works for you. And that's something we'll talk about tonight on our call. So everyone give Aly some love and thank her for joining us live tonight. And I know like Aly actually had joined CMW several months ago after watching, one of these stories. So tell us, actually, before we go into what made you join CMW, let's first talk about, where you were before CMW. So before you came to CMW for weight loss and health support, like what had you tried in the past on your own?
I think I've tried everything under the sun from from Weight Watchers to Herbalife. I know lots of people have heard of Herbalife. I've tried that. I've tried intermittent fasting. What else? I've tried the cabbage soup diet. I tried the military diet. I've tried literally everything. And then I would lose the weight. I wouldn't lose a drastic amount of weight. I would lose maybe like 5 to 6 pounds, maybe 8. And then once I lost that weight, I would then go back to my normal way of life and the weight will all just come back literally within like 3 weeks. It'll be back. And so it was a constant cycle of fluctuating weight every month or so, every other month, with gaining and losing. So I was not in a very good place. I had put on so much weight within the last maybe year and a half. Even pre-pandemic, I had gained weight. I was gaining weight around before then as well. So with the quarantine, that didn't help. And so that literally, with the weight that I had gained pre-pandemic, and then with the weight on top of the quarantine, I was not in a happy place, physically or mentally or emotionally.
Okay. Comment in the chat if you're watching this live and you resonate or connect with what Aly was just saying. You've tried all these things in the past, or, you were able to lose some weight, but then it would come back, or it was hard to keep going. Or if, COVID hit and the quarantine really kind of set you back and was a struggle. So comment if you, connect with any of these things, because what Aly just shared with us, I know are things that I've heard from so many people who come to CMW or who have just been, struggling on the weight loss journey in the past. So yeah, comment if that's you. And I want to let you know, Aly, that Abby's watching us live, and she said, she's like, you look amazing, super excited for you. And yeah, so I know you had seen Abby's interview and she really inspired you. What else encouraged you to join CMW? Like, why did you think this was a good fit for you?
I was fed up, honestly. I was fed up with myself. I was just disgusted overall with the weight. It wasn't so much the number. I just didn't feel good. And I knew at that point that I had to do something more than what I did before, because what I was doing before wasn't working. And so when I saw Abby's interview, that really motivated me. And then I contacted her and we spoke for a while, and I just felt that, you know, with her words of encouragement, and I just knew I needed to try something new. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot and see how it goes. And it took a few months before I actually joined, because I just felt like I just needed to be completely invested and ready. And so a few months later, after contacting Abby, I decided to go ahead and join. And I think what pushed me even more was so that I came back from vacation in California, and you know, I was taking a look at my pictures. You know, I went to Napa Valley in August, and I was not happy with my photos at all. I was like, this does not even look like me. I don't even recognize. I look bloated. And so when I saw those pictures, I said, no, something has to change. And I was like, okay, I'm contacting you right away. And I did. And I remember speaking to you the first day, and I was like, I'm ready to start now.
I remember that because I remember you had just come back from your trip, and those of you who don't know, and I think I wrote this in the comments, but Aly works as a school social worker. And I remember you were off from school for a few weeks, but we had talked about, like, you know, getting you ready to go back to school and what that would look like and how to manage like the time and the stress and all those things that show up when you do work in schools, right? And I worked with a lot of teachers and social workers here in CMW, and a lot of people we work with have stressful jobs and busy lives. And Aly is no different, right? But what we realized was like how to kind of deal with, you know, the work stresses, the life stresses. So Aly, you know, and obviously people see here the success that you had. You know, you lost 20 pounds during our work together, you know, even with like a crazy life. And I want people to understand too that this journey is never easy. You know, everyone has ups and downs on the weight loss journey. It's not linear. A lot of people expect that it's just going to go like this the whole time. But Aly, that wasn't the case for you. So maybe can you share like a struggle or something that, you know, that happened along your journey, and just to share, be honest, because everyone needs to know kind of like that it's not always easy.
Yeah, I would say that the first month, I joined mid-August, and the first month was very successful. And I was feeling good, and the weight was coming down, and emotionally and mentally, I was feeling much better. And then I had a medical scare, and that sent me in a whirlwind, spiraling emotionally, thinking, you know, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to deal with this crazy diagnosis, and what's my future going to look like, and what's going to happen to me. And so I was dealing with that, and it was a lot, as you know, Kristen, it was a lot. And in the midst of that, I found myself, you know, I remember telling you, there were points where I wasn't even hungry, but I found myself indulging in things that I knew I shouldn't be because of what I was feeling and what I was going through. But once I connected with you, I checked in with Kesa as well. And, you know, we worked through what I was feeling and how to manage that. And that was helpful. And that got me back focused and on track. But it wasn't easy. But I think this time what made it different for me as opposed to all the other times with my other weight loss struggles was that it was really my mindset. I knew that I didn't want to feel the way I felt at the heaviest I had ever been in my life. And I didn't like physically, and I didn't like how I looked physically, and I didn't like how I felt emotionally. And I didn't want to get back to that place at all. So I think my mindset had completely changed by then. So even though I was going through a lot emotionally, and it was a lot, a lot of tears almost every day, and just kind of feeling like out of it, I just knew that I didn't want to add to that by eating and feeling horrible afterwards, and then the weight coming back on again. So I knew that I couldn't go that route anymore. So I think my mindset definitely is what was different overall this time as well.
I love that. And I love to, and I want to give you a huge shout out here, Aly, because, you know, it's not always easy to bounce back, you know, and I feel everyone in CMW, you know, since we work together for an extended period of time, everyone has things that come up in their life, whether it's a medical scare or a relationship issue, or they're moving, or a job, something comes up, or a death in the family. You know, there's always things in life that show up. And so it's never like a perfect journey. And you showed so much tenacity And, you know, you were so, like you said, invested in this process, like you were from the get-go, and you didn't let that stop you, and you just came right back. And, you know, you were willing to put in the work. And I always tell people, you know, CMW works for those who work it, you know, and you were someone who worked it. And I was so proud of you, came back and still saw a massive loss in those 16 weeks. But I think one thing that is most important is the confidence that you have in your ability to move forward. So tell us a little bit about how you feel now, knowing like works for you, and, you know, how confident do you feel in your ability to move forward on your own?
I honestly, I feel 100% confident in moving on and being able to continue to be successful, because I still have about maybe a couple more pounds to go before I hit my goal. Really only 5, but I still want to push. I want to push it a little bit further, just to kind of get myself into like a safe zone, you know? And so I definitely feel confident that I'm able to do it because my lifestyle has changed. You know, this wasn't a get fix, you know, quick thing for me this time around. I needed to recognize that I'm in a place right now where I can't eat like I used to. Like I remember telling you, I can't eat like I did when I was in my 20s. Like that's not realistic for me anymore. And realizing that my system, my body has changed. And so I have to work with it in order for it to work with me. And I can't, you know, have 3 brownies in one day and think that, okay, and then get on the scale and wonder why I'm not losing weight, you know? So definitely the lifestyle, I just look at it as a lifestyle change and not, you know, a diet.
Yeah.
So that's when I know I'm able to be successful. And also when I took a look back at my food logs, I realized, and I mentioned this to you as well, is that I was still eating the foods that I liked, but I was eating them in a different way. And so, you know, in smaller portions, and adding lots more green vegetables and filling up on that throughout the day, as opposed to having, you know, excuse me, as opposed to having 3 large meals, breaking them up into small snacks, and then making sure that I'm not eating a whole bunch of different fat calorie loading foods because I wasn't feeling satisfied. So yeah, and so my it's just a whole lifestyle change, and my mindset really has been the major difference.
Oh, I love that. Do you guys listening like hear how many times she said her mindset changed? And like that's the key. And so those of you who've heard me talk before, you probably heard me say this, that, you know, 80% of your success on the health and weight loss journey is mindset. You know, it's 80% mindset, 20% food and fitness. I know you oftentimes hear it's 80% food and 20% fitness, but that is not true, because again, like someone can tell you what to eat and tell you to work out. And Aly knew, like, yeah, if I eat chicken and broccoli and rice all the time and work out 5 days a week, yeah, but I could lose weight. But the thing is, like, that didn't work for her long term, and she wanted a long-term solution. And so as she just shared with you, I could still have brownies, I could, you know, still eat the foods I like, but I have to learn how to do it differently. Yeah. And so what she just shared with you guys is what worked for her. Right. And I'm so happy she has that system moving forward. And that's why she's like, yeah, a few more pounds to lose, whatever. And she can do it without any doubt. And I love that you share that, Aly, because I remember our very first phone call, and even in the beginning of our work together, when you were really successful, like you said, like your first month, you always had that doubt, like, will this last?
I did. I remember, oh my gosh, I remember saying, oh my gosh, like, is this going to work? And then if it does work, how am I going to keep the weight off? And I remember that it was a constant, I think we spoke maybe like 2 weeks in, or maybe even a weekend. I was so overwhelmed with my thoughts. It was really my thoughts that was driving me literally insane over this, you know, trying to figure everything out. But it was really the thought of, how am I going to maintain this weight? Because I was used to losing the weight, but then not maintaining it, you know, it coming right back really quickly. So I was really fearful that I wouldn't be able to lose as much as I wanted to, and then also be able to maintain it.
Yeah. Comment in the chat, guys, if you're watching this, and, you know, fear of failure or fear of being able to maintain is something that you struggle with. and Abby's watching this live, and she even had the same fear. I remember Abby, and a lot of people who were successful in CMW, that's a very common fear. But what we always find is that once you, just like you did, Aly, once you find your system and you know what works for you, that fear goes away, and it's just about the follow through. Right? The fortunes and the follow-up, that's always the key to the success. And, Aly, like you have been so great at following up and following through, even when life throws you curveballs, like you pick up and you move forward. And, that's something that I know will keep you, grounded and keep you successful in this journey. Yeah. And those of you watching, know that you're not alone if you have that fear, and it's nice to see like someone like Aly here willing to share her story and say like, I've been there and look where I am now,
Yeah.
So,
and I had the all or nothing mindset, remember?
Yeah.
It was like, oh my gosh, if I have this one little cake, then, oh, well, I might as well mess up for the rest of the day and have pizza and Chinese food or whatever it is that, I wanted to have on that day. And I've shifted from that all or nothing mindset as well. So that has been extremely, extremely beneficial for me during this weight loss. Yeah.
I do remember that all or nothing mindset. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Comment, guys, if you have that all or nothing mindset. Well, if I have 2 brownies, I might as well have 4, or
have a bag of chips in the cabinet,
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's like this whole like snowball effect. And then you kind of feel hopeless, you give up, the whole vicious cycle. And so, again, Aly, you're able to break through that. And I also want people to know watching this, that it is possible to break the cycle, even when you feel like you're so far in it or it happens over and over again, there is a way to break free, and Aly did that, as we shared.
Absolutely. You can definitely do it. I mean, I was not in a good place mentally at all. I mean, I think I was so emotional, I think on our first video call, because I felt so unwell. I felt so unwell. So if you're in that place, trust me, you can come out of it, and you will come out of it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And I guess like one last thing, Aly, is like, I know you just gave that really awesome piece of advice, like, you can come out of it if you want to. Is there any other, piece of advice you would give to someone who, is where you were, or is considering the weight loss journey, doesn't know where to start or what to do? Like, what's the one piece of advice you would give that person?
I would say one day at a time, literally one day at a time. Take it day by day. Break up your day throughout, for the moment you wake up, have a plan, write it down, know that you're going to get up and do workout A or B or C, or know that you're going to get up and go take a 30-minute walk and get, your steps in for the day, get moving for the day, and have your meals planned out. I mean, the food log was so beneficial throughout this journey as well, because lots of times we start to snack on little things and it adds up, and we don't realize that that little bit of popcorn or that little bit of crackers or a piece of cheese and all those things add up throughout the day. So keeping a journal of your food and what you're eating throughout the day will help you stay consistent and focused as well. Yeah. So I would say one day at a time. That was literally what I would say to myself every single day, just one day at a time. And also not getting on the scale every day. That used to literally send me spiraling, and so I got away from getting on the scale every day as well. I would get on the scale once a week, usually on a Sunday. And that's where, I would see the weight loss right away from I would know anyway from my clothes were starting to fit differently. So I knew throughout the week that something was happening. But I wouldn't get on the scale. I would only get on the scale once a week. So that is helpful as well. Not driving yourself crazy over what the number says on the scale. But
I love that. Yeah. And I think that's really important. That's so important not to let, and first of all, definitely don't weigh every day. I do know there are some programs and apps out there that ask you to weigh every day, or some people just want to get on the scale every day. Definitely don't do that. That's a great way to mess with your mindset. And as Aly said, the mindset is so important here. But yeah, everything Aly just shared, like this is gold, guys. So not taking notes, take them down, because she just shared with you some things that really helped her, and she wants to encourage you. And in CMW, our job is to help you find your recipe for success, right? So yes, we share lots of delicious recipes and teach you how to cook and teach you how to grocery shop and how to read labels and all these things. But ultimately, the biggest goal is to find your recipe for success. Yeah. And what Aly just shared with you were just some bits and pieces of her recipes for success. But if you are ready to find your recipe for success, and you're looking for the support, you have to change your mindset, there's some like self-sabotage, maybe some like emotional eating going on, or you get overwhelmed easy, that all or nothing mindset, that CMW could be a great fit for you. So you can do exactly what Aly did. You go to createmyweight.com/apply and you book a complimentary call with us, and we'll talk just like Aly did and I did like over 4 months ago. I can't believe it, Aly. It seems like yesterday.
It does.
Crazy, right? And we'll see if this is a good fit, but as Aly said, you have to be ready and willing and know that you are going to change the way you think, and you're going to change your body, and you'll change your life. And that's how we do it, right?
Absolutely. And the support from your program, I mean, I really couldn't have done it. I wouldn't have been able to do it because I wasn't doing it. My way wasn't working. So, and the other programs way wasn't working either. So this has been worth everything to me, because it really put me, I don't want to get emotional, but it really, guys, you really changed my life. And I'm so grateful for this program. I really am. Thank you.
Oh my God. No, thank you. And thank you for, following through, like I said. And I know, guys, like things in life come up, and I know sometimes it's not easy. And I want everyone watching this to know that it is worth it, right? Any doubt, any fear, any frustration, any guilt that ever shows up, it's worth fighting through it, because look where you are now, girl, right? New year.
So happy.
Yeah, it's the new year, and you're not like starting something new. Like you're just gonna be on cruise control.
I'm already there. I've just got a few more to go. And for me, at this point, I'm not even focused so much on the number, because I know that I'll get there. I just feel really good that I was able to do this and get myself back to a healthier place, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And I love that it affects all parts of your life too, and getting in a good mental space. And oh gosh, Aly, I want to thank you so much for not just sharing your story, but also just for your transparency and being so coachable and committed. Those are two really important qualities we look for in people who do Create My Weight, because if you are those two things, you'll get amazing results, just like Aly did, just like Abby did, who's watching, and so many other people in Create My Weight. So again, Aly, thank you so much for—
You're welcome. Thank you.
Story. And everyone, give her a shout out and thank you.
Thank you.
If she inspired you, comment below. I'll drop my link here if you want to book a call with us, createmyweight.com/apply. And Aly, keep us posted on how you're doing, girl. Keep up with those workouts. Oh my gosh, guys. She was mentioning the workouts A, B, C, and D. Those are some of the workouts we have. Good. You love them. I know. I love them.
They're my favorite.
Right. Oh, good. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Happy New Year. Aly, thank you. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll talk to you soon, Aly, and I'll see everyone else in the next live. All right.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
See ya.